Let's talk about I2C. So the way we did other projects, we'll do in the same manner. First, we'll understand I2C protocol. Then we will learn I2C controller. Then we will implement that. We will develop, design, and test. First, let's spend some time understanding I2C protocol. I2C stands for Inter-Integrated Circuit. You call it, you read it as I2C protocol. How do you read this I2C? I2C protocol. What does I2 stand for? Inter-Integrated Circuit. I2C helps establish connection between multiple masters and multiple slaves using 2 wires. Let me just do one thing. This is a bit congested. So let's understand this. I2C helps establish connection between multiple masters and multiple slaves using 2 wires. So what is the advantage of I2C protocol? It only requires 2 wires. SCL, SDA. SCL stands for what? Serial clock line. SDA stands for serial data and address line. So how does the architecture of I2C based system looks like? This is the architecture looks like. You can see here. There is a master 1, there is a master 2. There is a slave 1, slave 2. So let's just take a paint and drawing that. Master 1, master 2, slave 1, slave 2. Both of them will have two wires. Basically, there will be 2 wires like this. What is this? SCL, serial clock line. This is STL. Very simple. How the connections are done? You have understood easily, right? Everything is connected to all those common wires. This is called as master 1. Just for our convenience, we are treating whatever is on the left hand side as master 1, whatever is on the right hand side slave 1. It's not always like that. They can be connected anywhere. Master 2, slave 1, slave 2. Now here comes the question. Basically, what is the advantage of this? Just using 2 wires. You can connect multiple masters, not just 2 masters. You can connect 5 masters to 5 slaves. So how it works is, there is a mechanism by which these 2 lines will be taken control by either master 1 or master 2. One of them will take the control. One of them will become the master of those wires. Once they become the master, they can do transaction to either slave 1, they can do either transaction to slave 2. Did you understood? The master 1 or master 2, any of them, once they take the control of the SCL, SDL lines, they can either do transactions to slave 1 or slave 2. So the most important point is this master 1, master 2, they will kind of request for the bus, there is a mechanism by which one of them will win it. It's like there is one bus, two of them wants to access this bus. Not both of them cannot take it. Only one of them can take it. That is where we'll discuss about what is the significance of SCL, SDA, how does they impact about this. How does architecture looks like? Multiple masters connected to multiple slaves using SCL, SDA. SCL stands for serial clock line. Serial clock line is always from master to slave. You see what is the direction of serial clock line? Single arrow, master to slave always, master to slave always. Only the SDA is bidirectional. What is meant by that? Same port, serial data address line. Same port will be used for writing the data. Same port will be used for reading the data. This line carries both address and data. That's why we are calling as serial data address line. Since data transfer can be either direction, SDA is bidirectional port. See, data you can write the data. In that case, data will go from master to slave. You can read the data. Data will come from slave to master. So in that case, SDA is acting like a bidirectional port, right? So hence, SDA is a bidirectional port. At any point of time, only one master will do the transaction. How do we decide which master? Is it possible for both the masters to drive SDA line parallelly? No, right? Whichever master pulls down SDA, making SDA equal to 0 first, will get the grant. At any point of time, okay, by default, both masters drive SDA equal to 1. Whichever masters make SDA equal to 0, that master is the one which will do the transfers to the slaves. So understand here. Both of the drivers will drive SDA equal to 1. No, both will drive SDA equal to 1. Whichever, that is the master which will do the transfers to the slaves. No, sorry, there is a confusion. There is a mistake. I'll tell you. By default, both masters are driving SDA equal to 1. Default is keeping SDA equal to high. Whoever makes SDA equal to 0, they are the winners. If at all they start competing that they want access, whoever, like I am also driving SDA equal to 1, other is also driving SDA equal to 1. Among both of us, who will make SDA low 0, that person will have the control of the bus. So that going from 1 to 0 is the taking control of the SDA bus. I2C architecture supports more than 2 masters and 2 slaves. This diagram is only to say that it is, because if I put 10 master 10 slaves, it will be very confusing diagram. So hence we are keeping like this. So how does this architecture look like? SDA is a bidirectional port. At any point of time, only one master can drive the port, other should drive jet. This is very important. This concept is very important. SDA is a bidirectional port. Imagine there is master 1 here. It is also driving some value. Let's say this is also driving some value. Let's say it is driving 1, it is driving 0. What will happen to this point, this line? If the same thing is driven by 2 ports, it will become X. What if master is driving 1, slave is driving 1? What will happen? What will be the value of SDA? It will still be X. Basic VLSI guideline is, if a port is driven by more than one driver at the same time, that will become X. If any port is driven by more than one master, that port will be X. Even if they drive same value, even if they drive 1 1, it will be X. Even if they drive 0 0, it will be X. This is where we need the concept of Z. Let me see if I have covered that concept. No, I haven't covered. No. So how do we solve this problem? How to ensure that It doesn't, I mean, the jet doesn't come. So how do we ensure is, if master 1 is driving, slave 1 should drive jet. If master is driving, master 1 is driving SDA port, slave should drive jet. Jet indicates what? I am not driving anything. Jet means I am not driving anything. The jet means floating. From my side, I am not driving anything. From the master 1 side, whatever value it is driving, it will take effect. Let us say we get into the other scenario where slave 1 is giving the data to the master. Who should be driving SDA? Slave 1. What about master 1? It should drive jet. Understood why we need jet? If the jet concept is not there, it means that both of them are driving something. If both of them are driving something, that SDA will go to unknown value. It won't go to jet, it will go to X value. So that is what, if a port is driven by more than one driver at the same time, that will become X. This is where the I2C controller programming becomes complex. You need to code in such a clean manner, so that if master is driving SDA, at the same moment exactly my test bench should be making it to jet. Test bench should be driving SDA to jet. If test bench is driving SDA, because in our environment slave will be test bench, one of them will become, right? If slave is driving SDA, my master design should be driving jet. How do we ensure that? That's the way the problem will come, because one is a module, another is also a module. If I am driving some value, I should be driving jet exactly at the same moment. But how do they communicate? There is no mechanism to communicate. You know, right? If there are two modules, there is no mechanism to communicate. It's like, I'll give you one simple example. There are two rooms. Both people should not come out same time, and you can't even see each other. It's not like transparent rooms. When he is coming, you should not be sending anyone. When someone is coming from this room, you should not be sending anyone. If at all anyone comes, it's a wrong condition. The whole design will get into unknown condition. So what will you do in case of room example? What will you do? Forget I2C master, I2C slave. In the room example, let's say there are 10 people here, there are 10 people here. You want to send them in such a way that there is no conflict. Both of you will start from the same point. Both the rooms will start from the same point. You will keep some clock cycles, some time. After 10 minutes, I will send. Other person knows that after 10 minutes, someone is going to come. I am not going to send anyone. I will be in a receiving mode. You will again have a same next 10 minutes or something where you know that other person is going to send, I am going to accept. So that kind of mechanism, both of them have to develop. It is all because SDA is bidirectional. I mean, IO port. It's called as in-out port. In-out port means it's bidirectional. This concept actually makes I2C coding difficult. I'm not able to tell the difficulty. When you start doing it, you will realize the difficulty. Because you will realize that anytime one of them is driving, both of them drive even for small time, that time SDA will go to X. You need to have a very clean synchronization where when one is driving, immediately other should not be driving. When other is driving, first one should not be driving. Advantages of I2C protocol. The I2C architecture supports multiple masters and multiple sleeves only using 2 wires. There are number 2 is there here. SPI supports only 1 master. If you learn SPI protocol, you will realize that SPI only supports 1 master. What are the drawbacks of I2C protocol? Cost of implementation will be higher since SDA requires bidirectional implementation. Overall I2C logic implementation is very complex compared to SPI, which only supports unidirectional ports. I think you are not familiar with SPI protocol. SPI has 4 ports: clock, chip select, master out, slave in, slave master in, slave out.